Mexico partners Nigeria for improved exports of agricultural produce. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency freezes 600 illicit drug-related bank accounts, with 103 belonging to one person. As NTA partners civil society organizations to fight gender-based violence, government of Antigua and Barbuda seeks the inclusion of NTA as a channel of Antigua national television. Mexico has agreed to work with Nigeria in the area of agricultural produce inspection with a view to addressing the issues of rejection. This is coming as the two countries fine-tune arrangements to sign an agreement on the exportation of hibiscus from Nigeria. Musa Aliu files in this report from Mexico City.
This is the Nacional de Referencia Fitosanitaria in Mexico. The center operates just like the Nigeria Agricultural Quarantine Service. It investigates and ascertains the quality of agricultural produce either going out or coming into the country. The delegation from Nigeria visited the center and they were acquainted with the procedures of inspecting farm produce. The idea is to ensure that pests and diseases are not transferred from one location to another. For instance, this room has the collection of pests detected in the country and how it was managed. Apart from the use of laboratories for disease detection, dogs are also trained on how to inspect fruits and other produce coming into the country through air and sea ports. This depicts how serious agricultural quarantine is to Mexico.
Putting all that together, I think generally we can actually say Senasica is doing a job that is quite impressive, and it's something that I think if we can replicate back at home, it will help a long way to help us control the influx of pests and diseases, which is the major objective of the quarantine service.
Es de parte de Nigeria, de los funcionarios de Nigeria, en el sentido de conocer las actividades que estamos haciendo como país.
And now this institution is willing to support Nigeria in the area of capacity building on how to dictate, treat, and also reject agricultural produce before exporting them into any country. From Mexico City, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
A UN General Assembly resolution demands end of U.S. embargo on Cuba, and Poland starts building fence on border with Russian enclave. Let's join Adebola Brookslyn for these and more on Global Updates.
Is adopted.
The United Nations General Assembly has adopted a resolution to demand an end to the decade-old U.S. embargo on Cuba. The resolution was adopted with 185 votes in favor, 2 against, and 2 abstentions. The United States and Israel voted against the drafts. Brazil and Ukraine abstained. Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez said the 60-year blockade on Cuba has brought huge economic losses and severe humanitarian disaster to Cubans. And United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said the Ukraine grain deal has hit a new milestone, allowing 10 million metric tons of grain and foodstuffs to be shipped from Ukraine through the Black Sea.
Despite all the obstacles we have seen, the beacon of hope in the Black Sea is still shining, and the initiative is working.
And Poland has begun the construction of a temporary fence along its 210-kilometer-long land border with the Russian enclave of Kaliningrad. Polish Defense Minister Mariusz Błaszczak said the decision was amid concerns in Warsaw that Russia plans to orchestrate an influx of migrants. Mariusz Błaszczak said the action is to enhance the security of the Polish border. Former Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu returns to power as the final vote count from elections gave him and his far-right allies clear majority in parliament. Results released by the Electoral Commission said with 99% of votes counted, Netanyahu's right-wing Likud party had earned 32 in addition to another 32 seats from the bloc supporting Netanyahu, making it 64 in Israel's 120 seats parliament. And in Africa, Ethiopia commemorates the 2-year anniversary since the outbreak of war in Tigray during a ceremony in Addis Ababa. The ceremony took place morning after the warring parties agreed to a breakthrough deal for a cessation of hostilities.
To address the internal displacements, Elizabeth Omorui reports that this was the position of the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, who represented President Muhammadu Buhari at a ceremony to commemorate the National Day for Internally Displaced Persons.
Everybody's running. I even run. I don't even think about my mother and my father. Everybody just run on his own. After we left there before, I now noticed that my mother is in Abuja.
Okasha's encounter with insurgents in Maiduguri is not fictional. Now, there is a new direction for him and other IDPs. Celebrating their resilience birthed the National Day for Internally Displaced Persons. And key players on displacement management are advocating funding of integrated durable solutions to aid their plight.
The federal government will continue to collaborate with the United Nations, with the state governments and other partners to scale up this initiative to other affected communities, and especially to promote the return of IDPs to their respective communities in safety and with dignity.
Nigeria, with 3.2 million internally displaced persons, has been equipping these survivors with life-changing skills to promote economic prosperity, insecurity, imposition, and health, with some of the issues raised needing attention.
Currently, various ministries, departments, and agencies of the government have made provision for services such as education, health, WASH, identification in the interest of refugees, IDPs, and returnees, promotion of self-reliance for the refugees and such other persons of concern is one of my ministry's key objectives as we strive to take them out of the humanitarian hands-out zone to sustainably becoming self-reliant members of the society. The Commission is therefore committed to facilitating access to social services, amenities in host communities, camps, and settlements in collaboration with all relevant stakeholders by emplacing frameworks that boost their level of availability and accessibility.
With a 3-year action plan in the Northeast and shutting of IDP camps in Borno, it is expected that more camps will be closed to facilitate resettlement. The ceremony featured an exhibition, fashion show, award presentations, and musical performances. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omorui, NTA News.
The Nigerian military is enhancing empowerment package and welfare of officers and soldiers across formations in the country. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, stated this as the graduation ceremony for undergraduate trainees project in Abuja.
234 undergraduates from different barracks in Abuja, successful product of the first stream of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association NAOA Youth Development Project. The program at the NAOA Institute of Management and Technology comprises of an intensive information communication technology skills acquisition and entrepreneurial training.
It is heartwarming that the NAOA Youth Development Project is yielding positive results, as these trainees will be going back to their respective schools with added knowledge that would have significant impact in their educational pursuits and career development.
You have reduced drastically youth restiveness, since the skills acquired will enable them gain employment with some startup businesses emerging.
The gesture that Chief of Army Staff noted will boost troops' morale in the front line.
I want to assure you resources will be provided, will be supported. Any initiative that will empower and train and educate our youth in the barrack will be supported. So bring as many as you can.
Several laptop computers and cash gifts were distributed to participants.
This system will serve as an opportunity for me to improve myself because I can install more operating systems like the Linux, which can help me in cybersecurity as a profession.
Now I enjoin the graduates to be focused and self-employed. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Now, the federal government says it will not be bullied into accepting a situation that has the capacity to destabilize the country. The Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, stated this in Abuja, in Kaduna rather. Anthony Forson has the report.
The event was a presentation of second and third quarter security situation report in Kaduna State. The Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, while giving a detailed report on the review of security situation in the state alongside efforts of the state government to mitigate or remove threats, presented statistics of banditry and terrorism, kidnapping, rape perpetrated by armed bandits, cattle rustling, communal and internal ethnic clashes, violent attacks, and reprisals. Kaduna State, which became famous on the kidnapping platform, just as the Kaduna-Abuja highway became travelers' nightmare, have been taken off that platform as no such stories are told about Kaduna anymore. With this shooting report and the sudden U.S. travel alert on terror in Abuja and some selected cities in the country, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed applauded the Kaduna State government for towing the path of the federal government in the fight against insecurity, hence the need to discountenance the U.S. and other such security alerts by other countries.
I want to say very categorically and without mincing words that whatever has been the intention of this security alert or this travel advisory, what it has done is that it has terrorized our people, and it has set the nation in a panic mode. No doubt, the American government has a right to issue travel advisories to citizens, but that should not go to the extent of scaremongering.
The minister maintained that Nigeria has no apologies for insisting that the U.S. security alert was false.
No responsible government will swallow hook, line, and sinker the security or intelligence report or alert from any other foreign country, especially when we have confidence in our own military security authorities to gather intelligence and to act upon it.
For Governor Nasir El-Rufai, the quarterly security report is to bring the citizens up to speed on what the state government is doing and will continue to do.
Citizens have legitimate expectations to be provided with consistently accurate accounts of what's going on and to be updated on the measures being taken to address the security challenges. In stark terms, it demonstrates the continued severity of the security challenges and the unfortunate toll in killings, kidnappings, injuries, and threats to the livelihoods of our people. We regret the pain and losses.
The federal government, he maintained, must, as a matter of urgency, improve the capacity of the security agencies.
The extent of interventions in security by the state government can do is constitutionally limited. The federal government has to more vigorously exercise constitutional powers and urgently spearhead a national effort to strengthen our security forces.
In Kaduna, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA International. We take a break now. More reports when we return. Do stay tuned.
The Nigerian Television Authority (NTA), in collaboration with Havel Corporate Concept, presents Beyond the Debate, a series for all the 18 presidential candidates in the 2023 general elections to present their manifestos and visions to the Nigerian public as a social contract. Beyond the Debate will broadcast live on the network service of the NTA and stream on YouTube and other social media platforms beginning from 10th November 2022. The publicly signed manifestos by the candidates will be uploaded on this portal, www.summitofpoliticalparties.org. For further inquiries, please contact Dr. Padanga 08033173488. Howard 08033121022.
Thank you. The Senate Committee on Appropriations is to commence the receipt of 2023 Budget Defense reports from standing committees next week, Monday. Chairman of the committee, Senator Jibrin Barrow, spoke to National Assembly correspondents after the committee's meeting.
I resolve that every year we must pass the appropriation committee before the end of the year. It has been something we are committed to in this current National Assembly, and we don't fail this country in this respect. So please remind them that every committee has to submit its report, has to appear before this committee as scheduled. And failure to do that, if any committee fails to do that, this committee will go ahead to take appropriate action, thereby not taking into consideration the report that may be brought later.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Haniri, has urged more funding to the sector to ensure well-being of citizens, as quality healthcare should not be sacrificed. It was during the 2023 Budget Defense session with the House of Representatives Committee on Healthcare Services. Here is the report. In 2022, he said, the capital allocation to the Health Ministry is 16 billion naira. But the proposal for 2023 has been pegged at 9 billion naira.
This is the health sector. People don't start getting sick less. They will even be sick more. So constraining the health sector budget in the new proposal will not be a very good idea.
So far, the ministry has received 8.6 billion naira, representing 50% of capital expenditure for 2022. The committee says both the executive and legislature have in the last 3 years collaborated to meet the minimum global threshold of allocation to the health sector.
The African Head of State mission is that we should get 15%. And gradually, since we came, we started around 4.5%. And we are now ending around 8%. We hope that our incoming regime will reach that 15%.
Meanwhile, House Committee on Women Affairs has engaged management of the National Center for Women Development on the center's budget performance for 2022 and projections for 2023.
Most of our facilities now in the center are functioning, and this is because of your support, the way you supported us in the budget, last year's budget.
You are hereby allowed to take a bow and live with your team.
The committee also held a public hearing to amend the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act to further protect widows and women from all forms of abuse or discrimination. Now, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has informed the Senate that in the last 6 months, it has frozen 600 illicit drug-related bank accounts, 103 of which belong to one person. This is coming from Chairman of the agency, Mohammed Buba Marwa, when he received the Senate Committee on Drugs and Narcotics on an oversight visit. Ignatius Nko reports.
It's been a period of budget scrutiny at the National Assembly. But the Senator Hezekiah Dimka-led Committee on Drugs and Narcotics decided to visit the headquarters of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency on fact-finding before the agency's budget defense. Senators, you are welcome. chairman of the agency tells the committee. At the meeting room, pictures of arrested drug peddlers and their various acts of concealment greeted the senators as Buba Marwa reels out more breakthroughs.
Spectacular seizures this year, very quickly, is first the seizure of 2.1 tons of raw cocaine, which we seized 2 months back in Ikorodu. That was the largest seizure in the history of the agency in one operation.
The chairman observed that year 2021 was a reset period for the agency as its Operation Offensive Action has yielded remarkable results even in the face of inadequate funds.
Recently, we signed an agreement with Interpol, which gave us access to a global database of criminals and also gave us the privilege to make contributions to the database. Our standing in the international community has improved significantly.
We want to assure you that we'll do everything possible within our reach. Whatever you think we can do, as senators of this committee in particular, to see to the progress of NTA, we are ready to do that, Your Excellency.
The committee inspected the proposed permanent headquarters of the agency at the Katampe Road, Jahid District, Abuja. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The politics now. The Bola Ahmed Tinubu Vanguard Political Support Group has extended its community service to the education sector. Salisu Wanara reports that some primary school pupils are already smiling home with learning materials.
Determined to learn, and this gesture is handy to assist the efforts of government and parents to facilitate learning among the pupils of Dawaki Primary School in the Federal Capital Territory.
And then our principal, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, believes that an enlightened mind is an essential ingredient for development.
Now, as you have chipped in to help the government, the reward will be there for you, and the children will never forget about you. Even the teachers too.
With a population of more than 700 pupils, the school uniforms and learning materials are targeted to cover 400 pupils.
I'm so happy for Tinubu. I'm so happy for him giving us, and I pray for him to continue doing more. He said that he will build a new class for us, and I will tell my parents to vote for him in this 2023 election.
Meanwhile, the all-registered APC support groups has devised another approach to fast-track its Operation Deliver Your Polling Units through a workbook. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the light at the end of the tunnel for Nigeria 2023.
We intend to print it in 3 major Nigerian languages, Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo, so that the ordinary person at the grassroots will know more about Asiwaju and not what they are hearing on the social media. That's what we want to disabuse now by writing this book and giving it to people free.
The effort is to add value to the group's political and democratic development processes. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Now, the Nigerian Television Authority says it will not relent at promoting improved healthcare and the fight against gender-based violence. Africa's largest television network made this commitment when two relevant organizations, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors and the Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, came calling for a partnership. Joseph Otsen reports.
The wide network coverage of the Nigerian Television Authority has continued to attract advocates of development to it. The latest is the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, with a drive to have a window for health talk.
There are a deficit of information, healthcare in the wrong hands, and they end up coming down with complications.
Director, Medical Services, NTA.
The UK registered about 91 Nigerian doctors. It's an alarming thing because our health indices are very poor. NTA can push to set this as an agenda.
The Nigerian Association of Women Journalists is another agent of women empowerment in press, with a vital role NTA is playing to curb gender-based violence and balance in the society.
Inclusion is very, very key, especially as we look forward to the 2023 general election. the media has a role to play in promoting the issue of implementation of the 35% affirmative action.
Their host, Director General of NTA, Salihu Abdul Hamid Dembos, while pledging commitment of the station to remain a bridge builder between citizens and government, tasked journalists to do more in curtailing negative impact of fake news.
That basically most of the fake news emerge from within the country, and we should not in any way try to pull this country down, because when it happens, none of us will be safe.
For the DG, NTA would never drag its feet to support any person or group with good intent for progress of Nigeria and its people. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
Now, the Prime Minister of the twin islands of Antigua and Barbuda in the Caribbean says the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, should serve as a window to the Caribbean, accessing information on culture, trade and investment opportunities between both countries. This is as Nigeria continues to grow bilateral ties with the Caribbean nation. Benny Adams reports.
I mean, we have a little bit of Nollywood here in Antigua and Barbuda, but I think it would be good perhaps if we could get maybe a news channel from Nigeria on our television, because again, we are only seeing what some media of the West, from the West, portrayed to us.
In furtherance to this request, the Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister, Gaston Brown, received the last two editions of NTA TV Guide with a request that both countries share TV content in celebration of the African heritage, business and investment.
And I believe certainly that Africa, especially Nigeria, represents a significant opportunity for the Caribbean.
While commending the head of the Nigerian delegation, Mr. Emmanuel Sampson, for his efforts at attracting investment to the Twin Islands, the Prime Minister seeks his consent as he considers appointing him Antigua and Barbuda envoy to Nigeria.
Mr. Sampson is prepared to serve in that role, but that's the discussion I will have with Sampson to elevate the level of representation of Antigua and Barbuda in Nigeria.
On this flight, we have people from Cameroon, Ghana, so many countries. Barbados, Jamaica, they have more than 30 people go to Jamaica. They are connecting tomorrow. So it's going to be an up, like you said. And they are all excited. I'm getting calls from all these countries, from US, from Canada. And Antigua sitting and saying, man, this is done.
Emmanuel Sampson is a Nigerian and the President, Nigeria, Antigua and Barbuda Chamber of Commerce. From the Twin Islands of Antigua and Barbuda, I am Benny Adams, NTA News.
And this is where we come to the end of the news. But before we go, a reminder on the need to join the NTA in the campaign against rape and rapists. Thanks for watching. Franklin Ife has been the sign language interpreter, and I am Lami Ali.
Welcome to Africa, the land of ancient civilization.
In the words of Sonia Sotomayor, an American lawyer and jurist, we, the educated, privileged lawyers, have a professional and moral duty to represent the underrepresented in our society, to ensure that justice exists for all, both legal and economic justice. You're watching NABTIP on the Move, and I'm Angela Agwegi. Ensuring that victims of trafficking and violence get justice is paramount to NABTIP. Our package will bring you the agency's conviction efforts by the Legal and Prosecution Department. Keep watching.
One of the core departments of NABTIP, the Legal and Prosecution Department, prosecutes cases in line with the enabling acts of the agency, including the Trafficking in Persons Prohibition, Enforcement and Administration Act 2015 as amended, the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015, and the Trafficking in Persons Control of Activities of Organizations and Centers Regulation 2019. The department has intensified efforts to ensure that offenders are zealously prosecuted and convicted. From January 2022 to 1st November 2022, the department has secured 56 convictions and counting, the highest since the inception of the agency.
So far, so good. I can tell you, as I'm speaking to you now, we have achieved 56 convictions. Most of the convictions are from the zonal commands and state command, as well as liaison offices. Kano in particular has the highest number of convictions so far, followed by Lagos, then Benin, Enugu, and other zones. The recent conviction we had was from the headquarters. We got 2 convictions. This is as a result of the marching order which the DG gave when she assumed office in September last year. It is part of her mission to ensure that we have more convictions, particularly on trafficking case that has to do with high-profile cases. So that is why you see us harvesting conviction left, right, and center, and we intend to go far so that we can achieve more and more. With the zeal, with the determination, with the passion, with the encouragement from our amiable DG, I'm sure we are going to get there, God willing.
The department achieved 52 convictions in 2006, but with the recent conviction record of 56 and counting so far, NABTIP has surpassed this previous record and is set to achieve more. The Director, Legal and Prosecution Department, reveals the secret behind this phenomenal performance.
If you want your subordinate or workers to work, you have to motivate them. Since the assumption of duty of our DG, she has been motivating us. She has put in place measures that will encourage not only legal officers, but all other officers in NABTIP to put in their best. For the past 6 years, we have not been getting the rope allowance. But when she assumed, the very first year, that very year, we got our rope allowance, which is commendable. And that we have been having training. Hardly a month passes by without an officer or officers from legal department and other department go for training. This training are both local and international training. Apart from that, judges conference. I cannot remember the last time we had this kind of conference, judges conference, where we sit with judges, brainstorm, and then sensitize the judges, particularly on the issue of sentencing. Because you find out that in some cases, the punishment, or rather the sentences given by some of the judges, do not commiserate with the offense committed. So it is during this period, or this conference, or this gathering, that we sensitize them. They also advise us on how to go about prosecuting our cases. And this helps us a lot in the prosecution of those cases in court. So these are part of the things that really help us to secure conviction. And also the reward system put in place by the DG also goes a long way in assisting us to put in our best. So this is the secret, really.
Our DG has done a lot since she came. She was able to rewrite a lot of stories, and she has carried all the lawyers, along with her. We are proud to have her. We are all gingered to do our best, to make her proud, because she has carried us along in a way no other DG has done. So the lawyers, they are trying their best, and they're putting in their best to make sure that, we reciprocate this love from her.
NAPTIP's partnership with the judiciary is indeed yielding results. Within the year, the Director General of NAPTIP, Dr. Fatima Waziri Azi, was a guest lecturer at the 2 Judges Conference held at the National Judicial Institute. For the NAPTIP prosecution councils, ensuring justice for victims is paramount.
Section 18, which is foreign travel, the particular case of a girl about 14 years of age who is very good in painting. So on this particular day, she brought out one of the paintings she had done and displayed it. So a particular young man walked up to her and told her, "Oh, I like your painting and you paint so well." And I could imagine if this painting could find its way to somewhere like Dubai. So the girl became excited and told her uncle, "But how will I find my way to Dubai?" So interestingly, he told her that what if I help out in getting that done? So the girl said, "Okay, fine. I would love to have that done for me. But then how do we get the consent of my parents? Will you want to come and see my parents?" So he agreed. But while going, he took along the sister and aunt to himself so that somebody elderly will help him speak to the parents for them to get convinced and release their daughter. And interestingly too, when they got to the parents' house, the mother and the aunt discovered that they know themselves. So that gave the mother an assurance that, oh, if my daughter is being released to somebody that I know, there was this note of confidence that it must be a genuine journey. So this is how the journey began, and the woman released, gave her consent, they prepared all the papers, and they traveled to Dubai. But funny enough, when they got to Dubai, as the scenario normally goes in cases of trafficking, they got to Dubai, and the woman took her, the woman that received her at the airport, took her and handed her over to somebody else. Immediately she got to the particular house where she was being taken to her destination, all she saw was that they gave her a uniform. When she wore the uniform, they took her to the next building and pointed to her about 4-story buildings, that she would be the one that would be in charge of the cleaning of all the rooms. It turns out to be like an hotel, a brothel. And only one child of that age should be the one that will be cleaning the whole lot of rooms there. And that was what she was passing through on a daily basis. Until one day, I think she couldn't take it anymore. She took to her heels and was running. On the highway, a particular cab stopped and said, "Where are you going? Only with this uniform. What is going on with you?" So she relayed her ordeal. And that was how she found help. And she was being taken and repatriated back to Nigeria, and the case was done. Unfortunately, we couldn't lay our hand on the main guy that recruited, but the aunt that got to be part of the business was the one that went in for it, and she was jailed equally for 7 years.
We also have another case of trafficking. The woman took about 5 girls to Italy and she was apprehended. Evidence was taken in court, and she was prosecuted, and she was convicted to 15 years. She's also imprisoned.
The agency has prosecuted several cases, including cases of violence against persons.
There's this particular case that a man of 52 years sexually exploited a child of 8 years. We handled that case in court. We called about 6 witnesses. With the people in that vicinity, they were very willing to give their evidence in court. We even had to restrict it to only 6 persons. They gave a very vivid description of what they saw, and the stories added up from when the girl went into the house to when she came out, how she was limping, the person that saw her, the child in the room, the daughter of the man that was sleeping at the time was also picked up, and she also testified that she saw the father dancing back and forth with this girl of 8 years that came to buy shaving stick for the auntie in their house. So the evidences in court were vivid, and all of them added up. At the end of the day, the man was convicted on a 3-count charge. The first one was 8 years, the second was 7 years, and the third count was 8 years, and all of them to run concurrently. The man is presently in prisons, and the people in that area were really happy that he has been taking up that particular vicinity so that they can at least have peace, because he was really a notorious person.
Though the Legal and Prosecution Department is not relenting in its prosecution efforts, there are still persisting challenges.
Some of our vehicles are as old as when the agency was established in 2003. And we are still using them. We need more vehicles, particularly now that we have more state commands. We have opened many state commands since the assumption of the DG. So we need vehicles, logistics, and what have you, to assist us in the fight against human trafficking, particularly in the state commands where we have just opened offices. Another challenge is the frequent adjournment of cases. Apart from that, the issue of leaving a child witness. We deal mostly with children. So leading a child witness is not as easy as leading an adult witness. So we have challenges. Apart from that, the issue of refusal or unwillingness of some of the witnesses to come forward to testify is also a serious issue. They will say, we don't know, we have already settled the matter, or because of fear of something, we don't want to go to court and testify. And also the fear of reprisal. They will say, if I go to court, maybe the family of the suspect will come after my family, and what have you. So these are some of the challenges that we are facing.
From the department, here is a word for the public.
We need the public to be enlightened on the aspect of coming out to assist us in giving witnesses in court. Because a prosecution that does not have an evidence to project before a judge had collapsed ab initio. So we need them to be enlightened that there's nothing about it. We are with them solidly, and they will not be touched by any trafficker once they are under our guide. That they should come out boldly and testify in court. In fact, for the children, for those that are children, the victims, because some of our victims, we should know this, are people below the ages of 18. So when we have people like that, we have a way around it. In most cases, we don't take their testimony in the open court. We do make an application to the judge to take their testimony in chambers. Sometimes we do what is called clearing the gallery, whereby other people in the court will be out of sight and out of hearing in court when their own testimonies are being taken. So we have them in our mind to protect them every way we can. So they should be held boldly to give evidence for the cases to succeed in court, because without them, prosecution cannot go smoothly.
When you see something, you say something. Make sure that we report to NAPTIP when you come across issue of human trafficking. We have our 627 line, which you can call at any time of the day. We have officers who are working there in our call center, 247. You can call them. And also our website. You can make use of our website, or you can make use of our email. It is there. So call NAPTIP. We have a rapid response unit. They respond promptly whenever there is a case, because we treat each case as an emergency case. Any case referred to rapid response, it is an emergency case. They will swing into action. They will go and arrest whoever is involved. We have been doing our best, and we hope to continue doing our best. The judges are really helping us, so we hope to see more collaboration, and we are also grateful to them. They have been assisting us in the fight against human trafficking, because they used to deliver prompt judgment. So I urge them to keep the tempo.
With 549 convictions from inception and 56 convictions and counting so far in 2022, the Legal and Prosecution Department is always willing and poised to ensure that victims get justice. So shun the culture of silence. Report that case to NAPTIP, and justice will be served.
NAPTIP is working. It's time to bring you the recent activities of the agency. Stay with NAPTIP on the Move. The Association of the Wives of Traditional Rulers in the FCT recently paid an advocacy visit to the Director General of NAPTIP, Dr. Fatima Waziri Azi. The delegation was led by Ambassador Gimbiya Hanatu Usman Nga, who commended the Director General for her achievements so far, and then sought for collaboration between NAPTIP and the association.
We are here today for partnership, and we are having very serious challenges from women abuse, child abuse, child. Some children are not going to school, and you see a little girl, 14 years old girl, 12 years old girl, that's 45, 47-year-old man pregnant. We have a lot like that, but we just decided that since you are here and we work the program every Friday, we follow up. So no, we should not do that.
In her response, the Director General of NAPTIP commended the efforts of the organization so far in its 2 years of existence.
For the fact that, you recognize that there is a problem in the FCT, and, you and other members didn't just sit back and watch or just complain quietly or, grumble. I think it's something very commendable, and I want to say well done for all you've done. Looking at what your organization has done so far, it's a lot. When we talk about issues of domestic violence, sexual violence in the FCT, it's a huge problem. Like you already know, NAPTIP is mandated to implement the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act in the FCT. And NAPTIP has been doing so since 2015. And we have a 24-hour call center where we receive complaints on issues of human trafficking and issues of sexual and gender-based violence. And if you look at our records, we even have more calls on issues of sexual and gender-based violence and even human trafficking issues. That is to tell you that it is a huge problem.
She also enlightened the delegation on the provisions of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. She then assured that the agency will collaborate with the association and presented copies of the VAP Act and IEC materials to the delegation. The Association of the Wives of Traditional Rulers in the FCT is a non-profit organization aimed at promoting culture, improving the living standards of women, children, and the less privileged. A federal high court in Maiduguri, presided over by Honorable Justice Jude Dakat, has sentenced the 25-year-old man Mohammed Abubakar to 4 years imprisonment on a 2-count charge of trafficking and sexual exploitation of a victim. The offence is punishable under Section 13 and 16 of the Trafficking in Persons Prohibition Enforcement and Administration Act of 2015. In a related development, a state high court in Maiduguri, presided over by Honorable Justice Aishatu Kumalia, has sentenced the 40-year-old man, Musa Yao, to 8 years imprisonment for the sexual exploitation of 2 victims. NAPTIP has secured a total of 56 convictions and counting for the year 2022, the highest so far since the inception of the agency. The Director General of NAPTIP recently received the incoming migration advisor of the Swiss Embassy, Christian Brugger, who was led by the outgoing migration advisor, Manuel Mühlbach. Dr. Fatima Waziri Azi, the Director General of NAPTIP, commended the government of Switzerland for the impactful partnership with the agency, highlighting some of the successful projects done so far, including the Blue Bus project and the National Action Plan, amongst others. The outgoing migration advisor, Manuel Mühlbach, also commended Dr. Waziri Azi for her passion, strong determination, and open-door policy. Directors of NAPTIP were in attendance. The partnership between the government of Switzerland and NAPTIP is yielding fruitful results. Our victim story segment will be on shortly. Don't go away.
One of my friends needs a friendship for go Abuja. So get one very give me for that place because I got the farm. So we get community after I finish my work at the gym. No, give me the reason for the donation. Carry me go the Abuja, see what show the place. Go for the Abuja. So I go enter, go open enter one of the so I come to tell us. So what my friend things in fast food work, what he did. So I go enter the place is my hotel. I go ask him what he did. He said, the work I come. What be that? I tell him, say, I don't go feel of this kind of work. I never do. So I don't go feel do the work. So I'm saying, I should feel go back from every job. I go feel do the work. Tell me, say, the work no hard. My manager, my guys, December, my madam said to me, my friend could tell me, say, my sit down, say, people worried, say, one good place. I go sit down for one chair like this. The girl go back here like this. No, even see, I don't see anything. I sit down, they wait for me. They come and not see. When madam called me to me, say, that my friend don't go. They say me for my hand. They say, I go there, work and show work there. But the husband I know they give him 3 months, go give me 50,000, 6 months, 100,000. So go buy me buy me bag of rice, buy me food, go buy me wrapper, I go give my mother, go buy me roads and can. Promise, madam, I won't go feed do the work. I won't go back to my village. Madam come and force me, say, he already paid down my friend, money already. So that my friend don't go back for village. My friend will be with hotel again. Once I start the cry, because my madam call work everywhere, work good. But when say I won't go back, this work behind me, he go beat me, they treat me as I know like. When they tell me say I no go fit go back unless I give am the money, he pay the person say I go tell say my body dey pain me, he go beat me, tell me say ma go river. I get my small money, he go beat me. Tell me say I no go reach nobody because I no get better money. If I give am something like 8,000, he go beat me. He say my maid don't get 20-something thousand. I give am small money. You know, to me go dey treat me, to treat me as I no like. So I come dey cry every day. I dey cry, dey beg am, he no dey go. He carry my phone, seize my phone. He carry my clothes, go hide. I tell him say I wan go out, I wan buy something. He go use the ride, go buy something, come give me. No dey gree my comot. Till one day, 90 people come down there, go arrested my money. I won't collect my money because I don't stay long for I don't stay 3 months for around. I want to take my money, go back to my father's house so my parents will not see again. Thank you, Nancy, for asking me.
For more inquiries and support, or to report cases of suspected human trafficking, violence against persons, and child abuse, please call NAPTIP hotline 0703 0000203 or the short code 627, or email us info@naptip.gov.ng. Visit our website www.naptip.gov.ng. Follow us on our social media platforms at NAPTIP Nigeria, or watch our videos on YouTube.
Our time is up, but I must thank you for watching and urge you to keep a date with us next week. My name is Angela Agwegi. Bye for now.
Nigeria, the pride of Africa, a country with the largest concentration of black people and the 7th most populous country in the world, with over 200 million people and 250 ethnic groups.
Our diversity also brings along with it the challenge of uniting us along a common goal, which is the unity, progress, and development of our country.
The Federal Character Commission, FCC, is charged with the responsibility of implementing and enforcing the principle of fairness and equity in the distribution of public posts and socio-economic infrastructure among geopolitical regions. Nigeria is a great country. United, our possibilities are limitless. Federal Character Commission, promoting equity and fairness.
This is the network service of the NTA.
The Nigerian Television Authority NTA, in collaboration with Havel Corporate Concept, presents Beyond the Debate, a series for all the 18 presidential candidates in the 2023 general elections to present their manifestos and visions to the Nigerian public as a social contract. Beyond the Debate will broadcast live on the network service of the NTA and stream on YouTube and other social media platforms beginning from 10th November 2022. The publicly signed manifestos by the candidates will be uploaded on this portal, www.summitofpoliticalparties.org. For further inquiries, please contact Dr. Adanga 08033173488. Howard 08033121022.
Sportybet sponsors coverage of the German Bundesliga.
Bet on your luck with OneXBet. Test your luck and get a chance to win one of the super prizes. Bet on this sports event with OneXBet. Get the tickets and take part in the super cool prizes draw. TechnoSpark smartphone, powerful generator, or a cool Bajaj motorcycle. Bet on your luck with OneXBet.
Cancelo.
Back out it goes to De Bruyne. Stunning goal from Kevin De Bruyne. City lead 3.
Sportybet sponsors coverage of the English Premier League. Sportybet sponsors coverage of the Italian Serie A.
In a third final in 20 years.
Simply out of this world. Get a GoTV decoder, GoTenna, and 1 month max subscription for only 6,900 naira. Watch all the 64 games live from Qatar on GoTV Super.
Sportybet sponsors coverage of the Italian Serie A.
So if it's me you're searching, you were all I needed. Open up the door, conquer me, and taking over me. Open up to you, my castle of love. See it all belongs to you. Step into my world. I will treat you like a king that you are. It's true. Wanna welcome you to my royal castle of love.
Wait. So he live here now. Mom, does he live here now? Answer me, does he live here?
In your arms is the key to my heart. Please believe me, completely, that I'm breathing to the beat of your heart. So if it's me you're searching for, I'm yours forever. Let me love you. You are all I need. Open up the door. Conquer me and taking over me. Open to you, my castle of love. See it all belongs to you. Step into my world. I will treat you like a king that you are. It's true. Wanna welcome you to my royal castle of love.
Hey, people, stop. Yeah. Tasa. Yo! Yo! You are going to die!
Welcome you to my royal castle of love. Information has divergent It's all in there redistributed. Future is
You and your hair go through a lot. The heat, rain, chaos. It's the non-stop war against total breakdown. But just like you, your hair can stay strong no matter what. Mega Growth Break Free Daily Leave-In Strengthener for all hair types is infused with a unique blend of natural oils and conditioning protein that helps protect your hair. Mega Growth Break Free, your daily defense against breakage.
When headache strikes, I always trust Sudrex Headache and Fever. For body pain, trust Sudrex Joint and Muscle Pain. Sudrex acts fast for headache and pain relief. Sudrex, overcome pain challenge. Win your day.
Hi, Mom. Morning.
Morning, sir.
Oh, there.
Abuja, please come. Sit down.
Mom, I have to go.
Please, 1 minute, please sit down. I had a nightmare about you last night.
I'm guessing this is about my job, Abby.
Look, Arinze, don't take these things with levity.
Mom, I've told you everything there is to it.
What is it about this your job anyway? Your father died serving this country. The people in the system orchestrated his death.
Mom, please don't bring Dad into this.
Why not?
Because you know that he is the man that inspired me to become who I am today.
Arinze, your father died in police ASP, in active service. He was killed by the people in the system. What part of the story are you not understanding?
The part where you have no evidence to prove that, Mama.
But you're not speaking the truth, right?
Mom, I joined the force because I believe in this country. And I believe that this country needs to be protected.
Just like your father.
I know you worry, okay? But I promise you I won't end up like that.
That's my prayer for you, son. That's my prayer for you.
That's why you're my mommy. Just keep praying. Let me go. I love you. I'll see you. I'll see you when I get back from work. Okay? All right, Mom.
Everything around me seems to be telling me my end has come.
Not for you, dear cousin. Mag, you have to snap out of this.
Oh, it's not easy. All these predictions are always true. And the days are running so fast.
Okay. All his predictions are always true. That's correct. But then again, there's a first time for everything.
I don't know.
Look, sweetie, God has not given us a spirit of fear. Okay, but the spirit of boldness, of strength, of a sound mind. You cannot die young. It's not your portion, not when your destiny has not been fulfilled.
What if it's my destiny to die young?
God forbid. That is not your portion. Okay, it's not. And I need you to believe that.
Okay. I'll try.
Yeah?
It's not easy. It's actually not easy at all.
You can't give in to that.
I was about coming to your office.
Yes, traffic and all.
Have you been able to reach Mr. Robertson?
No, I'm very worried about it. Remy and I spoke about it last night.
Do you think he's changed his mind?
Oh no, he needs us more than we need him. I'm sure he'll make contact very soon.
I hope you're right.
Look, let's change the subject. How are you preparing for the engagement party over the weekend?
You and your hair go through a lot. The heat, rain, chaos. It's the non-stop war against total breakdown. But just like you, your hair can stay strong no matter what. Mega Growth Break Free Daily Leave-In Strengthener for all hair types is infused with a unique blend of natural oils and conditioning protein that helps protect your hair. Mega Growth Break Free, your daily defense against breakage.
When headache strikes, I always trust Sudrex headache and fever. For body pain, trust Sudrex joint and muscle pain. Sudrex acts fast for headache and pain relief. Sudrex, overcome pain challenge. Win your day.
She's the one girl in light in the darkness. She's beautiful. She's a superstar. She never let her member down. She's beautiful. She know this, yeah. She know this. I got it.
No phones at the table, please. Esther.
Oh.
I love you too.
Don't forget I'll pick you up soon.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Fine, I guess.
Oh, fine, I guess. That doesn't sound convincing, young man.
You know what it is, Mom. I just hope Magdalene is getting married to me out of love and not because she's obliged to.
Oh, Maxwell, we have gone over this several times before.
I'm just worried, Mom.
Magdalene loves you.
Then how do you explain her entanglement with the police officer?
Remy has told me that there is nothing between her daughter and the policeman.
Really? Mom?
Maxwell, you prepare yourself to be a good husband to Magdalene and a wonderful father to my grandchildren when they